beach. Here we come. After running a few errands, we are here at West Tech, trying to get the car prepped. We just put in some new plugs. We have also changed the injectors. When he was idle for a long time, he would load up the spark plugs with too much fuel and he wouldn't have power coming off the line. And we should take a rip here and see how she does. Feeling pretty good about that. Car's running good. Nice and quiet. Doesn't burst your eardrums. Got the booth all set up. Took a while getting the cars underneath, start nut and bolting this car. So we're ready for tomorrow. The car's running great after yesterday's tune-up and dyno session. Let's get after it.
On the old flux core, I'm not. It's been a long time.
That's all right. It's at least going to help us out as far as making sure these don't fall apart on track. Get those back in. Those are what adjust our toe for the rear on the trailing arm. Vehicle is pretty much nut and bolted front to back. Feeling pretty good.
Cleaning up the car.
Nice and shiny over here. Ooh, we're gonna finish going through this. I'm gonna eat a little snack. Keep it moving along. It's Friday. The whole crew, me and us, we got like 3.5 hours of sleep last night. But I think we're ready. I'm feeling pretty good. How you feeling? Yeah.
Like shit.
Like you had 3 hours of sleep.
If that.
So we're gonna get some bananas, we think, and we're gonna head to the track.
Hunting for bananas.
Hunting for bananas. We're gonna get a few last items and then finish up a few last things in the car, double check, and get Conor on track here. I think they jump on around 8 a.m. On Friday and Saturday, I actually did not get any real actual footage. I was just way too busy making sure everyone had everything they needed and made sure the car was set up as good as it could be. Friday was the seating bracket. It was pretty cool because we got through the seating bracket, third place, and they had this little like podium ceremony situation out on track. And then after that was done, we had to go back to the pits, nut and bolt, check every single thing on the car. So it was ready on Saturday morning. Here we are, top 32 battle on Saturday. Rome's up first.
Getting the keys from RCP, Rome Charpentier, Taylor Hull. That's another little Dale Earnhardt livery here. The Wrangler comp cams graphics here. You gotta love it. Garagistic BMW getting a new chassis here for RCP, and he's making it look easy right out of the gate. Well done by both the guys. Taylor Hull, amazing chase job. Taylor Hull gets a and Rome parks it around that last inside clip, and that looked independent. And we are seeing Rome and his team. Looks like they're up here in the pits, and they are thrashing to go get down there.
Whether it's Conor or Rome, if I'm free, I'm there to lend a hand. And the car comes in, and we got 2 corners smashed in.
Rome, are you worried about the damage?
Yeah, we don't know if we have all the spares to be able to replace the front and the rear in 10 minutes. We had a similar impact in media day, and it took about 45 minutes to get it fixed and straightened back out. So as long as the subframes aren't bent, I think we're going to make it back out there. But right now the wheel is about 90 degrees to the right, and they said the rear is caved all the way in also. So the guys got to fix 2 corners in 10 minutes, and hopefully we can make it happen.
As soon as the car comes in, get our eyes on it. As soon as we start touching the car, timer starts 10 minutes. Here we are, we're jacking up the car, doing everything we can to get this up in the air, get the wheels off. While Rome's 2 main guys are on the car, I'm getting my eyes in there anywhere I can, because if there's a set of third hands that can be replacing another part while they're replacing the parts that they're doing, I'm gonna get right on it. So I found it was the upper camber arm. I can see that the heim joint, the threads of the heim joint going into the arm were just bent over, they were cracked. Boom. I got to go find that part, grab some tools, and just immediately started getting after it.
All right, so you can see Rome and his team. I mean, these guys are thrashing. Like I said, Rome said, look, this happened on Tuesday. They don't know if they have the right arms and suspension, or enough, I should say, because this happened Tuesday. Took them 45 minutes. Now they need to do it in 10.
When you're under the pressure of having a timer on you, and then you've got, the big media cameras down there in your face, it might be one arm that you're replacing, but you feel the pressure. I found myself at one point struggling to get one end of it, because you got 2 heim joints and it's locked in with a lock nut, and it was just slanted slightly to where I couldn't fit it into the rear subframe where it was supposed to bolt on. So I just take a breath, step back, realize what you need to do, and then get it done.
Oh man, the clock is ticking. So yeah, to your point, we're watching that clock. He might get an additional 5 on top of that 10.
Yeah.
He will. So we are getting confirmation there. He will get an additional 5 when that 10 expires.
We had a 5-minute call that we could use. So we used our 5-minute call. Long story short, we finished that car with 38 seconds on the clock, and it felt really good. High fives all around.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Oh, look at that. The Garagistic BMW put together high fives all around. Lorette was giving, you get chills there right now. Oh.
As soon as Rome left the pits, I hear a word that Conor just made contact with Turk, and it couldn't have been 2 minutes later. We've got Conor's car coming into the pits to get repairs done. He had a D-bead. It's hard to understand because I'm not actually watching the live feed. I've got so many other things going on, and I can't see the track or these runs happening as they're going on. I can hear them a little bit, but I'm not even really paying attention to that.
Ryan Turk out front at Reynolds Toyota. GR Corolla initiates. Conor Shanahan, the Garagistic BMW, transition down to that second outside zone. Ryan Turk possessed. Look at Shanahan. Ryan Turk taps the wall. For the weary. All right, Garagistic, back at it. Go for it. Yeah, here you go, guys. All right, you just fixed Rome's car. Now let's take a look at Shanahan's car. And he was talking about, his car, his setup, and what he's got. Look at Shanahan. He's ready to grab an impact.
He's ready to go. I mean, I've seen this family operate, and everybody puts hands on the car.
Right.
There is no just sit back and relax. It is, we're all here to wrench. I mean, Jack's already downstairs.
Yeah,
I don't know when he made it there. That's not a far walk, man.
That's a big man right there.
Oh, we've got a D-bead. Okay. So Turk is at fault. This should allow Shanahan to be able to swap out those tires because of that.
Conor's car comes in, and before we touch the car, before there's any timer, we're trying to get the logistics behind everything of what happened. We were told that we were able to do a tire change based on the initial calling of when the car came in and how things went and what we can or cannot do. We were told we could change tires. We go ahead, we do a tire change, fuel up, triple check everything, make sure everything's good.
Now Shanahan will lead. Wait till they extinguish. Don't hit a cone. It looks like we got a clean start. Here we go. Shanahan out front. Garagistic. BMW got the Red Bull on the side. The Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla. Ryan Turk. Shanahan goes hard into the paint. In that first wall. Into the second outside zone. Ryan Turk has the latest production. Look at that back bumper. Thrashing and bashing into the third outside zone. Now into that final inside clip. Ryan Turk goes. He needs to apply the pressure. Brings it on home. Almost has contact. Makes some noise for Ryan Turk. And left for Turk. Right for Conor Shanahan. There's 1 and a 2. Conor Shanahan gets the win on his maiden voyage in Formula Drift Pro Championship. Ryan Turk knocked out early in that Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla Nitto tires. There's RCP, Rome Charpentier.
At the end, we went with comparing the leads. We saw that there was a hit that went on to when Turk was in the lead, hit, straightened up. And then when we looked at Conor's lead as well too, a lot better.
Yep.
We know that there's a lot of other things that went on in the mix, but ultimately, we go with our standard, and it was a hard battle to go through. But
and if Shanahan wasn't there, Turk hit the wall. So just don't do that. That in my eyes, look, you messed up.
Yeah.
And regardless of hitting Shanahan and regardless of the D-bead, he was in that chase position. If Shanahan wasn't there, say he was even further back, and you brought up that point earlier, Jacob. If he was further back, it wouldn't have been an issue, right? And maybe D-bead, maybe not. TBD. We'll never know. We'll never know. But Turk hit the wall.
Yeah,
End of
absolutely.
story.
This is when round 1 ends. It was about a 2-hour break in between that and round 2. And during that time, the judges decided to look and reevaluate what really happened, because the odd thing was that it was the other tire, the left tire, that D-beaded when the contact happened on the right side of the car. Judges came to the conclusion that the tire D-bead was not due to contact.
Ryan Turk.
Shanahan and Ryan Turk. So what transpired here is when they had their battle in 32, you saw Ryan Turk go in, but right there is where he D-beaded. You could see the tire, and you look at the smoke, and you called it out, Jacob, that side skirt. Why did that fall? Well, there's no air in the tire. The suspension settles, he drops and drags. So that tire D-beading, we said you could replace it. That should have not been the call. So we said, the whole committee, right? Everybody spoke during that halftime break and said, let's rerun them in adhering to the rules. Anything else you were going to add to that kind of scenario?
No, that's basically it. I mean, we don't have protests anymore, so we need to take every single call very seriously, and everybody took every camera angle that we could to understand what happened, and we're making the correct call now.
All right, so we are having a top 17 till we find out who wins between Shanahan and Ryan Turk. Shanahan, he's in a very proven car with RCP behind the wheel. He gave him the keys to that, so give Modern Tell. We're about to see if Conor Shanahan can do it. Here we go. Ryan Turk, Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla on Nitto tires. Shanahan, Red Bull, Garagistic, BMW. Ryan Turk initiates into that first outside zone. Let's see if he can get out there. And yes, he does. He gets definitely close. Doesn't tap his bumper, but that's okay. We're not looking for him to essentially tap. Out to outside zone 3. That's where we saw the incident earlier. Looks like we got definitely a sterile and clean run right now. Oh, textbook. Shanahan did tap that inside clip, but a good run from both the drivers. Pretty straight up. Straight up. No crazy incidents like we saw in their first battle.
One good solid run, and then you can really see the rain starting to come down. We wanted to get a sighting lap now that the rain was coming down, because you really want to see what the track's like. That water just sits on the top above all the rubber that's been laid down on the track, but we were denied that. I don't have a lot of details. I'm just in the pits, ready to take on whatever action, heads into the pits and what I need to do.
This could shake things up quite a bit. This is the first time we're seeing moisture on track. This could really change the game right now, but you need to stay composed. And Irish drivers know how to drive in the wet. Bro, he goes deep into the wall. The hatch opens on Ryan Turk. Shanahans goes hard into it. This is what I was talking about. You know, they went from dry, absolutely dry, bone dry, to just a little bit of moisture. Ryan Turk's front left corner is absolutely dipped down. The trunk opens. Look at that front left suspension. That thing is absolutely collapsed there.
Track is really wet. You can see Conor making adjustments because he knows he's going in deep for the amount of grip that he has on track. The back end does come into the wall. The calling, to my understanding, is that Conor went too deep into the wall, and this has caused Turek to really hit the wall and then essentially crash. You know, he broke some suspension parts, and the lift gate on the back opened up as well. So that is what I understand as far as what happened there. That's part of racing, I suppose. It was a great experience being in Long Beach, and hopefully I can make it down to Orlando, which will be the next stop. Atlanta will be sadly missed for this season. That's all I've got for you today. It was a crazy ride, and I loved every second of it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.